enjoyed this week's episode, and please like this video, share with your friends and dock mates, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us get more viewers like you.
Hey y'all, welcome aboard Yara. I'm in bachelor mode right now. I've got a boat and a cat and some boat work. I'm pretty good. The cat, though, definitely doesn't really care. She's had a long day of napping, so she's got to take a nap. But let's talk about where we're at. It is currently early November. I haven't done any recording since basically June. I took a long break, but it feels good to start up a project again. I took a break, but Devin, being the wonderful editor and social media maven that she is, we've got weekly posts. So thank you, Devin, for our weekly posts. You've done amazing things, and I appreciate you. So let's talk about what we are going to be filming today for the first time in what feels like a year. We've got a new fun project, and let me get things set up and I'll show you what we're going to be working on, and we'll talk about why we're doing it as well. Let's go. Okay, here is our first project in what feels like a year, but it's been since June. So it's November, June. What is that? You do the math. We are doing a Lagun table leg system. So before we get into all of these bits and bobs and parts and pieces, let's talk about why. I am sitting here when I work at work during the day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4, 7:30 to 4:30, whatever, 8 to 5, I'm here. Oh man, I am in bachelor mode. I am really sorry that this boat is disgusting and I'm filming it, but I don't care. Devin, I apologize. So here's where I work. That's my work laptop. That's one of my work screens. This is my headset, noise canceling, which is great. But I'm constantly on video, Zoom videos and Teams videos and Google Meet videos and all the video conferencing. I work remote. So the background. It's the background. The blur and the fake background like images, they work okay, but they're not perfect, and sometimes we see Devin like moving around behind me. It's quick and there's not any detail, but it's probably not as professional as it could be. So also, this space that we're in right now is a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, a television room, sometimes a guest bed. It's my office. It's our pantry. It's like, you name it. This part of the boat is where life happens, including me working. So imagine during the day, I'm on the phone, doing my video thing, doing my chats. Yeah, I've got active noise canceling headsets, which helps, but there's still a little bit of distraction, and it's a small space. So I'm gonna hear what Devin's doing. She may again appear briefly as a flash or a movement in the background of my videos, my video calls. So we are looking at other options, and one of the other options is to get me out of this space and into a different space, and we'll go through what that looks like. So this is gonna be a fun project. I'm gonna benefit because I'm gonna have my own workspace. Devin's gonna benefit because I'm gonna have my own workspace. And yeah, so let's dive right in and see what we got. All right, so space number one where I could do some work is in the quarter cabin. So you come down the companionway, that's the cockpit out there. Come down the companionway, take a right here. So this area has a folding door. There's an wooden insert that goes here, and there's a whole bed back there and a hanging locker and everything. So, and there's full standing headroom in there too. So we were thinking, well, what if I put a standing desk? I mean, yeah, all this crap, it's basically storage right now. All this stuff has to come out. But what if I'm standing in here and I have like a little standing desk, so I could close this door that's not here right now, but will be installed soon. I can close the door, close this off, stand in here, do my video calls, be on the phone, and you know, work away without any distraction. So that's what we did. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna go about that with a Lagun table leg system, because this system is adjustable. Things can move around and twist, and the tabletop can move around and everything like that. So if you haven't seen the Lagun system, there's plenty of videos out there that go through and talk about, you know, what it is and how it can be mounted and how it can be adjusted. So I recommend you go look at those. What I wanted to do today, though, is share with you where we're going to install it and go through some of the hardware that we've got, because you guys know I love brand new shiny hardware. And what else was I going to show you? Oh, some measurements that the Lagun website didn't include, which I was kind of frustrated with, and I emailed them and they never got back to me. So Lagun, if you're watching this, you may want to pay attention, because we're going to do some measurements for you for free. And again, and this is not sponsored, so Lagun did not do anything here. This is all out of our pocket. They don't even know we're making this video. But if you're watching, you should add these measurements to your website. Okay, first things first, let's talk about placement. Be right back. Okay, so right now we've got our winter shoes on our storage, we have our sail right, we have a fan, we have this, blah, 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 blah. Like, all of this is gonna come out. Then I'm basically gonna be standing right here. And the desk is going to be like right here, the desktop, like right here. The Lagun bracket is gonna be mounted right here. This bulkhead through bolted here, and then the leg is going to come up, tabletop, adjustable, swivelable, all that right here. So that's where it's going to be mounted. But if you notice, there's a little like lip right here. This is solid teak, this is marine grade bulkhead plywood, but there's a lip here. And it's on purpose, like, you know, there's a lip everywhere this exists on the boat. There's a lip. And one of the measurements that I was frustrated that Lagun didn't have was how far off of the bulkhead or a wall or whatever is the leg and the bracket, because I was either thinking I'm gonna have to shim it out or trim this back. I don't know, because they didn't give me any measurements for that. So let's talk about those measurements first. Okay, so here is the wall bracket. So this is what gets bolted or screwed into your bulkhead or your wall or whatever vertical surface you're going to be mounting your Lagun table leg system to. And they didn't give me a measurement for how far off the wall, the actual leg would be spaced out, because this is actually a pretty thick piece of material. Like, this is like a high quality bit of aluminum here, and it's rather thick. So let's take a measurement of that. Like a 1/2 inch, 13 millimeter or a 1/2 inch. Can you see that? 13 millimeter, about a 1/2 inch. But the way that our wall and our bulkhead sticks out, we have that teak trim piece, and it might bump into the actual leg. So this is the leg, and it slides in with this slot right there into the bracket. Then it can lock into place, so that's not going anywhere. So now you can see, if this was our wall, that is how far off the table leg will be from the wall. So that was one measurement that Lagun didn't provide, or at least I couldn't find it. So let's go ahead and take that measurement here. It's kind of hard to do this. 1 second. So that measurement, like that, is 0.3 inches or 7.5 to 8 millimeters. So that is actually okay for us. I will be honest, I did a test run the other day as soon as this arrived, and we will be able to clear the teak trim that we have on our bulkhead. So that is really good news. So, but if you are looking for that measurement, 7 to 8 millimeters or 0.3 inches is how far it'll stand off the wall. Now, the other measurement that they didn't tell us online is the thickness of this piece. So I'll tell you about this piece. Let me get kind of resituated here, and we'll go in and talk about this. Okay, so the way this Lagun system works is you have this piece, which is your tabletop mounting plate. And whatever material you want to use as your tabletop, desktop, workbench, whatever, this gets mounted to the underside of that. And what Lagun would not tell me when I was ordering my hardware, because I love my hardware and I like to be precise with my hardware, even though I screwed that up this time around, and I'll show you guys. They wouldn't tell me the thickness of the material right here. So let's go ahead and measure that too. So 4 millimeters or about 0.165. 4 millimeters. Okay. So this being our tabletop mounting plate, this is where all the a lot of the magic happens here. We got the one that can fold. So if you unscrew this, see how that can rotate? So your tabletop's here, this is part of your base, and this can rotate like that. So we got a little bit of an upgrade pick, because on a boat, you're ever wanting space and maneuverability. So I upgraded to the folding part, the folding plate. Now, the rest of it is all based on this base. And let's talk about my hardware mistake. I bought way too long of bolts. These are 4-inch bolts, and I probably could have gotten away with like 2-inch bolts. But they do look very pretty. Look at how nice that looks. So we're gonna through bolt these to the bulkhead. And we got washers and nuts for the other side, and we'll have to build a backing plate. But they're just way too big. I should have got 2 inches, but that was my mistake. But I just look at how beautiful it is, though. It even says 316 on it. I love that detail. Okay, so we already talked about the leg itself being mounted to the bulkhead mount. Then this part also is a very critical part. So this is the arm, and it articulates like this here and here. So that's extra. Look at how the label is crooked though. Why would they do that? Come on. Look at, it's like sloping downwards. Anyway, come on, Lagun. So this is like, it'll move like this on the wall. I know it's all kind of theoretical right now, but it'll make sense as the project moves forward. Now, the other thing that I'm really excited about are these. Check these out. So the tabletop, we're actually having made. We're not going to make it ourselves. We're having it made by a craftsman that lives here in the marina, and he's worked his entire life basically building boats and refinishing boats and doing wood projects on wooden boats and fiberglass boats and metal boats and power boats and sailboats and runabout boats and all those kinds of boats. So he's the one that's going to make our tabletop. But the way we're going to mount the tabletop to the tabletop plate or mounting plate is with these awesome little insert nuts. So I got these stainless steel insert nuts, and you drill a hole into your table material. We're using marine grade plywood with Formica and a teak banding, but you insert that into the bottom of the tabletop, and there's these little knife like cutters that cut into the wood to hold it in place. So that gets mounted in there, and then you just have a regular old screw that screws right in. That's going to be really, really nice. And so this screw is going to be going, well, through a washer first, through a washer, through this plate, and then the nut insert here is going to be embedded in our tabletop, and then that'll just be screwed in right there. So that's going to be real nice and secure and strong, and it requires 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's, you know, a pretty big piece of metal there, so it's going to be really sturdy. So yeah. Oh wait, one more thing. I also sprung and got the installation tool, so it makes it really easy. So you drill your hole in your material, then you screw in your insert here, and you can use this to do the screwing. So there's little, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. See those little grooves? And then there's corresponding like shoulders right here. So those shoulders fit into there. You can even hear it snap into place. See that? And then you put this in your driver, and then you screw that in, and then again the little knife blades cut into your material and secures it in place. So that's pretty cool. It was just a few bucks more to get the tool, but I think that'll make it go a lot easier. So yeah, that's where we're at with this project. I think it'll be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, now we just gotta do it. All right, but I'll bring you guys along. We're gonna do it together like we do. Let's go.